Hey guys, rxlyaT or Taylor here, and I'm back with another Division video. And like I said in the video yesterday, this one is going to cover all of the 1.6 patch notes and interesting add-ons we're getting. Anyway, let's get straight into it. I roughly touched on it yesterday, but they have increased the Dark Zone size. They're increasing it by roughly 100%, yes, doubling in size. But for this, you need to take into account that there's going to be a lot more underground area, a lot more building interiors, and a lot more rooftops and verticality to go with it. So as it might not look much on the floor, it's certainly a lot more there. And the reason they've expanded it like this is to sort of force you into a different fighting or play style. A lot more indoor and close quarter combat is what they want to see in the Dark Zone, and this is really cool. So we have now 1 to 9 Dark Zone areas, and you can freely travel through all of them. Also with this expansion, they've also made it now that you can fast travel between checkpoints and safe houses. The only downside to this is if you're fast traveling with loot, it's going to be destroyed just as if you're going to leave a checkpoint with contaminated loot. With this new Dark Zone expansion and the new areas, there is now going to be more landmarks, and these new landmarks feature waves of enemies. The landmarks will award you with additional loot placed directly into your inventory, which is really cool. It's going to be a lot harder to clear these landmarks, but you'll be rewarded with loot you don't have to extract. Also, I did make a video on this. There was a data mine a few weeks ago that actually gave this away, but there's going to be new events in the Dark Zone. These are called contamination events. What these are is roughly every hour, elite cleaners will spawn in the Dark Zone underground areas, and contamination in those areas will reach lethal levels, so your virus filter will not be able to resist it. You're going to have to use your brain and figure a way to manage your health to take these down and stop the cleaners advancing. Sounds like a lot of fun, but we don't know what the rewards are for completing these events. I do like that idea though. It just means we're going to have to wait and see and try and do it for ourselves. And obviously we all know there are now Dark Zone leaderboards. These leaderboards are going to track a lot of activities, and they'll be divided between PvP and PvE. For PvP, they include rogues killed, manhunt survived, and extractions hijacked. For PvE, we'll be tracking activities like NPC enemies killed, locked chests looted, and items extracted. All tracked activities will be turned into a total score, which is divided into 3 tiers, and the higher your score is compared to your fellow Dark Zone players, the better rewards you will earn when the leaderboards are reset. And now some news for those PvEers like myself. There's going to be a new difficulty called Legendary, and there'll be 3 missions to start with that have this mode: Times Square, Warren Gate Power Plant, and Napalm Production Site. This is supposed to be the most challenging mode in the game, even more so than Heroic Incursions, and it's really going to test your build, your tactics, and your group synergy. These enemies will be nothing like you fought before. All previous content has been taken out and replaced with new, powerful, and much smarter LMB enemies that use more advanced tactics against you and your team. They'll react to your skills and status effects, will be hard to hit since they keep a low profile, and will constantly try to flank you, and you really don't want to get into the melee range of them. If you fought the Hunter in survival, you've had a brief taste of what is coming. Legendary difficulty comes with its own exclusive vanity items that you can't get anywhere else in the game. Along with these vanity items, you'll also get a new item called an exotic cache. I'll go more into exotic items, but that's just covering the rewards for completing a legendary mode mission. Along with what I just said, we're now getting exotic items and a new gear set. Exotic items are really just a rework of named weapons and named gear pieces. Each named weapon now has a unique talent to come with it. Some talents are only activated if you have 2 named weapons equipped. For example, the Valkyrie is actually being split into 2, the Hilda and the EIR, whose talents become active and synergize when you both have them equipped. And just going back over the reward for completing a legendary mission, once a week you'll get an exotic cache, and this will guarantee you at least 1 exotic item. Like we all expected, there is going to be some gear set changes, and the biggest one is Rest in Peace Alpha Bridge. Instead of getting 3 extra talents when having 2 of the same weapon equipped, you will now only get the free slotted talent that is in the secondary gun. Along with a few more gear set changes, they're also adding a new gear set called Seeker, which will have body shots as its speciality. Its 4-piece bonus will give you a guaranteed critical hit after landing 2 consecutive shots to the body, which can be spread across different enemies. This actually sounds like a really cool gear set. Obviously we only know the 4-piece talent. It's going to be interesting to know what the other 2 bonuses are, but I'm really looking forward to this gear set, and it's one I wouldn't thought they would add, but like I said, it's going to be really interesting to use, and hopefully it's going to add a lot of build variety to the game. And here's a change that didn't quite make it into 1.5. Armor has been removed as a major bonus and replaced with health. Gear still comes with base armor, and some talents will still give bonus armor. Health and stamina are now your primary means of toughness. Current health rolls have been turned into a new stat called Resist All, and diminishing returns have been added to status effects. This means you can't constantly keep being burnt over and over again. Gradually it's going to be less and less effective. This doesn't just stand for burn though, this also stands for shock and all of the other status effects. There has also been a lot of changes to skill power and skills. Now there's a lot on this, but I'm only going to read the summary of it. Skill power has been moved to a system similar to armor, where each new world tier you reach will demand more skill power to reach the same effectiveness of your skills. There's a bigger difference in skill efficiency between low and high skill power builds. Changes have been made to the sticky bomb, first aid and the shock turret. And they've also rebalanced signature skills and made it impossible to trigger a signature skill when you're already suffering from its immunity debuff. Tactical Link's damage bonus has also been lowered within PvP. Now these changes really excite me. I've never really seen too much of a point to build stupidly into skill power, but now there's kind of going to be a significance to do that. Like I've already said, it's going to add a major build variety to the game, and it's something we've all been longing for. So really happy with these changes, but that's not all that's changing in the game. There is still a lot of PvP balancing going on, and some of the really important ones are as follows. Medkits can now be used at full health to remove certain status effects. You can no longer reload your weapon while sprinting. Thank you. Adrenaline no longer gives you an overheal from medkits, instead it will give you a heal over time. Your enemy's health bar will flash whenever they use a medkit. Talking about baiting out those medkit uses. Survivability talents like On the Move, Battle Buddy and Critical Save have seen some balancing changes. And of course, when combat rolling, there's now a 1 second delay before you can roll again. Thank God for that. A tidier and normal looking DZ is on the way. And last but not least, some economy changes. There is now going to be unlimited recalibration at the recalibration station. The price increases each time, capping out at 5 recalibrations. This is so good. Really happy for this actually. It's something everyone's asked for, and now that the price caps at 5, that's really cool. The prices have changed, however. They're going to be a lot more expensive, but like I said, it caps out at 5 now. So, you know, roll to your heart's content, but you're going to have to grind and sell a lot more loot. Helping civilians reward you with intel. High-end pistols in survival no longer cost division tech. Scavenger box now scales to world tier. I'm not sure why it didn't in the first place. And some item prices have been tweaked. These are some really cool changes, and I feel like the economy has needed some changes like this, so I can't complain at any of them. There are a few changes to survival which we've all needed. Now within survival, solo players can now no longer end up in games with players queuing as a group. Grouping up while in PvP survival has been disabled. And reviving a down player in survival will always cost a medkit. Some very much needed changes, especially the one reviving a down player in survival is always going to cost a medkit. When I first found out about this and it didn't cost a medkit, I was a little bit surprised and found it a little bit silly, so I'm glad they've done that. It's going to make the consequences of dying a lot more harsh. And finally, last but not least, I know the video's dragged on a little bit, but we're going to be getting an in-game store. This does kind of mean microtransactions, but it's not going to affect any skill or any improvements to your character apart from vanity items and emotes. This I'm all for. I mean, a lot of games have done this. For example, Team Fortress has hats, CSGO has weapon skins, and now The Division is going to have new emotes and weapon skins and clothing. The way you'll get these is there'll be a new vendor called the premium vendor, and this will reset every 7 days. To buy the skins and emotes from here, you'll need a currency called premium credits. These are obtained via the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, or the Uplay Store. No prices have been revealed yet, but during the PTS we will be given a lump sum to spend on this store, because obviously none of it is kept anyway, they just want our feedback. So very cool, I'm happy with this. It's like I said, it's no pay to win or anything like that. It's just literally vanity items and skins with some cool emotes. Now guys, I'm glad I finally got through that. I didn't know how I was going to tackle this video, but I hope you enjoyed it either way. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new around here and enjoy The Division, then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're going to find a lot of Division content here. But until next time guys, take it easy, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.